Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Yep, my podcast. This weekend's guest is Erine. Erine, one of the probably one of the very few female special forces interrogators on the TV show SS Who Dares Wins. But that's not just the only string to her bow. She's got quite a few things that she does and quite a few of her passions. So we're going to invite her on in a minute. Going to invite her on, and if you've got questions, put the questions to the moderators, and if I get to see them, I will ask your questions. I've got some good moderators in. Thanks, ladies. Yeah, and make sure that if we have anyone in the chat that is getting a bit out of order, then ladies and gentlemen, feel happy to remove them. Anyway, so without further ado, and I've got my soldier on coffee I'm drinking from Belfast, my soldier on coffee. I'm going to bring her on. We're going to have a wonderful chat. This is going to be brilliant. I hope you all enjoy it. And let's go. Let's go, people. Hi, Jonathan. Hi, Zepper. Outer Limits. Maria, welcome. Got Mughal there. Goblina, Deborah, Carla, Zepper, Susan Moore, Rachel Penny. A lot of good people in the chat. Mrs. H. Anyway, let's bring her on, will we? Everyone, this is Erine. Good afternoon.
Hi, everyone.
That's great. It's really great to have you on. How's things?
Really good. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me on, by the way. First and foremost, I have to say that. It's so lovely to see you.
Well, it's always good to have a chat with you. Yeah, I've been trying to get you on to have a chat for quite some time, but you've always had work commitments and family and things. It happens, and it's great, yes. And it's got to be the right timing. I've been watching your show, by the way.
Well, what do you think?
It's good. I enjoy it. You're what I would call, and don't take this offensive, you're what I would call the perfect honey trap.
Well, thank you. I am actually very pleased with that. I'll take that. Thank you. Like that,
Well, it's true. I mean, for many years, it's been a sort of deceptive thing. I think from the beginning of time, really, a deceptive thing where attractive women can bring in men, and men become mush and gullible, and you seem to find out a lot of things about them. Then you walk off knowing quite a lot. So it's always good, but I'm not going to go there yet. I love working with you because you always had everything you do. I always had the impression where you sat and you analysed everything, which in a way can be quite scary for someone looking at you.
Yeah. To be honest, I do, and I did. When we worked together, like you know yourself, there was a lot of different characters, you know, strong characters, weak characters. So you really were assessing who was your friend, but then who you had to watch out for. Would I be right in saying that? You probably done the same as well?
Yeah, well, I think as a bloke, we assess things differently. I think the first and foremost is assess, is this person dangerous? That's the main thing to get it out of the way. But
of course.
And then once you can work that out, everything else is so easy. Because then, if you think that, I don't want to go into the side of it, but if I'm working with somebody and I thought that they're going to kick off, then you have to approach the conversation from a real subtle, relaxed angle. But right. What I was going to ask you. It's quite clear. It's quite clear that you're from the same place as me, probably a few miles apart. But anyway, what made you join the military, Erine?
Well, I think, to be honest, it's in the blood. That I never thought to myself consciously, I'm going to join the army. But I just knew subconsciously that I would probably follow in father's footsteps, grandfather's footsteps. So I think for me, it was also an opportunity to explore the world. I love Northern Ireland, but you know, Northern Ireland is a lovely place always to come back to, you know, back and forth. But for me, it was, you know, let's see the world, let's see who I am, rather than just stay, you know, in the one place for my whole life. So it was a really combination of wanting to travel, but sort of knowing deep down that I wanted to try and achieve this, and I think make my family proud. I would definitely say that. I've got a wee dog on my knee, by the way, in case you're wondering, wee Rolo.
Yeah. Oh, look. Got we dog of mine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm joking. I'm trying to be lighthearted of it. But yeah. Animals. Dogs are fantastic. I mean, especially if you have a stressful job. To be fair, a dog, it's just it's it senses things and they're very good at putting you at ease. So yeah, I need to get another dog actually. But
You should. But nobody thought I would survive the army, to be honest. Like, to sort of on that point, like everybody sort of looked at me and was like, "Oh, you're so small. Oh, you're so
yeah,
girly," and I couldn't see it. I just thought, well, yeah, but if you want to do it, then you just do it, don't you? So I think I done it to probably prove people wrong as well.
that's what I was going to say. So in a way, you joined it because people didn't think you could do it, and that made you more
Oh
determined.
yeah, that got me through basic training. Like, we all know basic training is horrendous. I'm on the phone every night. Oh, Daddy, I want to come home. And he goes, well, do you really want to come home, love? No, Daddy, I don't. But so you grizz it out and you finish your basic training. Then all of a sudden you're at your first regiment, the Grenadier Guards, and that
Yeah.
was just fantastic. That was the start of me just starting to live my life. It was great bunch of guys and a very good footing for the rest of the military, because they have such a high standard, their soldiering skills, how they present themselves, a good moral compass. So that was a good first posting for me, definitely.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Dave just asked something silly, which I'm not going to ask you. And my answer to Dave is, I would say Erine knows more about the military than you do, Dave. You'll always get some of it, but when I looked at you, I was sort of, from when I first seen you, and it's everyone knows that I've worked abroad and you've worked abroad, but when I seen you working abroad, you're very deceptive. The look of you is very deceptive, because you come across like butter wouldn't melt in your mouth, and you're so polite and you're so relaxed.
It won't melt, I'm telling you. Until you're on the wrong side of me.
Well, exactly, and that's why when I see you on, and I won't talk about your previous work because everyone in the chat's got a brain. We know that you're very good at deceptiveness and interrogation for the TV, but it's not called interrogation anymore because we don't do that. We sort of we exploit people now just to get the right information to save lives, and I think it's great because we need people like that in society to keep us all safe. But whenever you're on the TV show, and obviously, do you know what I'd love to see? Where they make mistakes and they go cut. So I'd love to see a video of all the outtakes, which I think would be a bestseller, if I'm honest.
It would be very, very funny, actually. Yeah, there has been some moments because, obviously I'm still new at this, doing it in front of, the camera, for the TV. So there is times where you think, oh, yeah, I should have said that. But, you just keep rolling with it because it's not live, but everything is just constantly recorded. Yeah. So there's nothing we do is scripted. It's all just recorded. And then, the TV people will edit it how they see fit and what they want, but they'll have probably about 20 plus hours of our footage, just being in the rooms with the celebrities, going through, our training package with them. Yeah. So even if you do fluff up, it doesn't matter because they'll just not show that,
Of course, yeah.
I think I'm happy enough with how things have went, but there's just been a couple of wee moments because it is celebrities. Like for example, when the first season for Fox, and I was my first guy that interrogated, I think he was a bachelor. Okay. So I looked at his picture, they said, can you go in, I think, with number 6, right? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll go with number 6. So I took him with number 6, and I says, right, take off your hood and your blindfold. And the next thing he takes the hood and blindfold off, and I'm not joking you, Trevor, it was like Diet Coke advert. I was sitting there going, wow. And then I was like, right, serious, but it was, I'm not used to the, and he was like all, gorgeous and,
perfect.
Yeah, I was like, this is the best job ever.
Oh, God. So on that note, obviously, when you're speaking, there's two different sides. Are you more relaxed? What I'm trying to say is, Do you have the same mindset talking to a celebrity when you're trying to break them as you would have talking to, say, a nasty, evil man abroad? Do you have the same mindset? Is it attitude and technique?
I think there's less pressure for me because I know that there's no pressure on me bar delivering, something for the TV, which I know I can do.
Yeah.
So nobody's life depends on it, I think, would be my honest answer there. So that personal pressure for me is taken off. So I can just really enjoy, listen, have a wee bit of fun with them, because at the end of the day, the more footage we can get, then it's better for the TV show then, because then the editors can put together what they want. So there's definitely less pressure, and I can enjoy myself. Yeah, it's a really good few days for for working. Yeah.
Are you harder on the men or the women, or are you a bitch to the women? Be honest.
No, I will be honest with you. It's not about that. There is no way that I would ever be harder on a man or a woman. It's about what that person needs to deliver. So, the like of on the last season there that just came out, Alana, her Achilles heel was her children. That she had performed very, very well. I mean, have you seen it?
I've watched it, yeah, and that's why I asked you that question.
Yeah, but because that would naturally be her Achilles heel. So she actually performed really well. I was very impressed with how she done. But of course, in her own mind, then she put herself under pressure, and then she left. But she done fantastic. She scored very highly. But the recruits don't know that. They think, oh, because you plant that little seed of doubt, and then they go into the stress positions and are thinking, oh God, I shouldn't have said such and such. When actually, they've done very, very well. So, yeah.
A lot of people's Achilles heel are their children, though, and I get that. I think it's a bit like the school bully. Whenever they find out what upsets you, they keep going at the same thing until you break. So, I get that. Right, I was going to ask you, right, whenever you're going in, though, obviously you work off timings and things. I get that.
Yeah.
Do you have a routine to get your head in the game? Do you have a routine to get you in the game, or you just walk into the room? Because I used to find that going to do certain things, I didn't meditate, but I needed time on my own to get my head into what I was about to do. So do you have like a routine?
I know this is going to sound strange, but if my beauty regime, right? So if my beauty regime is good, if I feel confident within myself, I'm happy enough to go in, because I've done it for so long. As long as I know that, I look the part, how I'm dressed, how I look. We don't do any research on the celebrity recruits, so I'll just put that out there. So, I don't really know who they are until a few hours before.
Okay.
So there's no research done. And then the prep really would be once we're all together with the DS, like Billy, Foxy, all those guys, we'll sit down and they'll give us a chat on how each person is doing. So my prep would be listen to what those guys say, how this person is performing so far. But of course, they will perform differently with me than they have done with them. So for example, Cam Newton. Yeah. He's a very big statured man, so he was being very aggressive. Obviously, he done very well, but he was very alpha male like. And then when we decided, I will go in with him, production were a bit like, oh, we're a bit nervous. We know you're okay, but he's very big fella. And straight away, I was like, no, I will go in there because he will be very different with me. Yeah. So of course, when I went in there, he was very polite, pleasant. He done extremely well in the session that I had with him. I was very impressed. So was the DS. Everybody was very impressed with how he conducted himself. So the only prep I had was how they were doing on the course so far. Yes. Nothing about their personal lives. And then we just build the picture up. So the prep kind of happens over the 18 to 20 hours. You build up that picture of each recruit.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting. That's the sort of the same sort of way that you'd work professionally anyway in your other job. But I like watching it. Every instructor brings a different They bring a different type of attitude to the table, because attitude. When I watched them and I watched the team. I won't say guys. When I watched the team, everyone's there for a reason, but they're all qualified in different areas. So you can see how the DS sort of approach each of the recruits, which I find fascinating. Yeah. Do you have an Achilles heel then? Do you have an Achilles heel? Everyone does.
God, my Achilles heel. I think.
In fact, it's best not. No. It's best not saying it, really, is it?
Well, I mean, you want me to be honest, don't you? I think I put a lot of pressure on myself.
No.
I think that would be my Achilles heel. I'm always trying to do something better, do something different. You know, never stay in the one spot. I think I'm always trying to, you know, it doesn't matter what it is in life, just try and grow and progress. Yeah. I think. So the show has done a lot for me that way, because it's opened a whole different world to me, Trevor. That using the military and discipline and the guys that you work with, your friends for life. And then now being on the show, you get a little bit of that back. Well, a lot of that back, actually, because I've gelled very well with the team there. But then you get to see behind the making of a really, really cool program, and how then all the producers and the runners and the editors, how they all work together. So it's a whole different world, but it's very, very exciting.
I got a question coming in from one of the moderators. Zepper has said, are you taught to read body language?
Yes, well, of course. You're taught to have a look at how people are naturally, and then what they're like under pressure. So you would do a little bit of research yourself on body language, because the more you can educate yourself in this line of work, the easier it's going to be. So yes, to answer the question, you are taught body language, but it's also, to answer that question, it's also about your instinct with a person. How you read, you naturally read people. We all do it subconsciously. The non-verbal communications, like, what is that person? Are they being nice to you? But are their fists clenched? So things like that, you would definitely, be taught to sort of hone in on, I would say.
Yeah. There's the questions are flying, and I'm not going to go through them all, but there's ones that are standing out. And when you're in the room and you're told, okay, go, and you're in, is there a limit that you can, I'll use the word on top, is there a limit that you can be on top of someone in their face for before you have to give them a break?
Well, I mean, because it is a TV show, it's very easy to read that you can put them under pressure simply by being in their space. I mean, let's be honest, they don't know me. The like of Big Dilksy going in there, he's very big in stature. You're in somebody's face, your breath is on their face. I mean, that's horrendous. I feel very sorry for them. But that really does put people under pressure. We all know about our dance space. We don't want people in that space. So as soon as you step into that space, especially I think with a celebrity who's used having people at arm's length, they're straight away under pressure. And then you can also use, by not speaking. You'll see a lot in the Fox season 3 there. At the very start, I'm very much, okay, and then nothing, because that makes people uncomfortable as well. So you can physically use in and out of their space, but you can also then use what you say. Yeah,
there is questions coming in, and I'm going to answer this question. Don't want to step on your toes, but I'm going to answer this question for you. Right, for those that are asking, if you want to know about the military side of this, then you need to go and Google it and look it up. I'm not going to discuss any of these techniques that are exaggerated in the military. It's a different scenario. It's a different pressure. Yeah. This is a TV show, and this is an interrogator talking about trying to get the best out of celebrities. So that's all I'll say. Just wanted to shut that question down and keep coming in.
So it's just you're delivering. It's conduct under capture, rather than interrogation. So you're playing the role of an interrogator to put people under that human stress response.
Yeah, it's a great concept. I mean, I love watching this show just to see. This sounds really awful me saying this. I love watching the show just to see these massive men break, because I mean, it just shows you though that it's not about what you can do to somebody. It's about how you can get into someone's head and how you can make someone, for some reason, go from being the toughest man in the room to worrying about, is he the weakest man in the room. So I mean, it's brilliant. I mean, I've always been. I admire how someone like you, that's small, that you'd look at butter wouldn't melt, can walk into the room and make a grown man cry. I mean, and I'm like, how does she do it? I mean, I I've witnessed how you speak to people anyway on ups, and it's always been like, oh, okay, which is it's a new way of doing it, and it just goes to show you though that the days of old, going back way before.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've lost him. He's just dropped out. If you can hear me, Trevor, I can't see you or hear you. I think I've lost him. I think I'm still live, but I can't see or hear anything. There you are. Got you back.
Let me see if I can get my. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you now. I totally lost you. You went totally black.
Yeah, I know. It just went there. I'm just trying to fix this. Well, you can hear me. Can I hear you?
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Are you receiving? Over?
Perfect. Perfect. I apologize. I mean, yeah, I lost my train of thought there because it all just went a bit this end. It happens, unfortunately. It's very rare that happens, but when it does happen, you've got to. I used to panic. Now I know how to find myself.
Oh no, it's just one of them things.
What was I saying there?
So you were saying about me going in just as somebody sort of a smaller stature, and then you were talking about me, how I talked to people when we were away.
Yeah, I've learned a lot by just watching people's body language. I mean, I did there was a guy many years ago, I can't remember his second name. I think it was Chenier, taught me about interpersonal skills. That's it, interpersonal skills.
Yeah.
Where you learn to sit and talk to people and watch how they move their hands and things. It's very interesting though. But when I watch it on the show and how you do it, you've got a different approach towards doing it with other people. But did that come with practice? Tell me, did you read up on things how to do it, or did you learn by watching others and then sort of put together your own way of moving forward?
Well, you do receive training, so you have that really good baseline of what you can deliver and how you should deliver it. For me, I absolutely developed my own way because a lot of the time, they maybe wanted, people say, just to be aggressive. So on the show, there's a lot of aggression, isn't there? But actually, what you don't see is, like, I'm quite nice to them a lot of the time. So I think if you treat people with respect to start off with, then it sort of disarms them. And then if you're not getting what you need, then you can always ramp things up, can't you?
Yeah.
But unfortunately on the show, you only see a little bit of me being nice-ish. And then a lot is me, screaming and shouting. But what you don't see is actually it's taken 18 hours to get to that point. So I don't think I'm being fairly represented.
No. I mean, some of the things that they use, first of all, the show is, without a shadow of a doubt, Americanized, because watching some of the techniques that they do, in my opinion,
yes,
they are Americanized. Whenever I went and I went to Background many years ago, and I had a look at how they deal with things, and a lot of the scenarios that are used in the show, in the feeds you're doing, British personnel would never do some of those things.
No, but the American audiences love it. You see, they really, and it is so shocking to watch. I mean, that one where they set people on fire. It was like I was sitting there going, I'm terrified. Like I couldn't put myself forward for that. And then you have these celebrities, who are being doused in whatever it is and then set alight. I mean, it's unreal. But the American audience, they seem to love to watch the celebrity suffer. Yeah. But also the lovely side of the show is everybody goes there and you will learn about yourself. They're very willing to let themselves be stripped back. The DS will strip that individual back. And the celebrities, I think, are very brave because they know, everybody knows this now about the show. If you go on there, at some point, the real you will be drawn out, be it with the DS, with Billy, with Q, whoever it is, or us. At some point the real you will show, and it's so genuine and it's authentic, and that's what I love about the show. And hats off to anybody who puts himself forward for that.
Well, the one thing I will say for those in the chat is this: the fire bit that they used in the show was just done for TV. It's not something that UK or US forces do to anyone. It was just a TV just to make people excited. But some of the things are great, though. I mean, I do enjoy it. I think it's got a great team. I think you're working with a great team, and
they're amazing guys. Honestly, they're just fantastic, and they really made me welcome, which was lovely.
Well, yeah. Well,
there's always that nervousness when you go and you're going in with alpha males. Who are really they are, each man is a legend. Like each one of those men on that show is a legend. So then you're going in, as you say, this 5 foot nothing, little something. Will you be accepted, or are they going to look at you and go like, "What's she doing here?"
Yeah.
But so glad that everybody accepted me and really made me welcome, and Billy really makes you feel part of the team, as do the rest of the guys. 100%. Rudy's amazing. I just adore Rudy. I just love him. He's brilliant. Q's lovely. Foxy's lovely. Chris, they're all amazing. And of course, then Dilksy, who I've known for many years. He's been my pal for many, many years. Certainly, an absolute legend of a guy. Mm-hmm.
I can see how you all gel. I've even been on your Instagram. Clearly, I mean, Erine's on Instagram for those that want to go and follow her. And I've seen that the gelling's, but teamwork's the big thing. Right. So this won't last forever. I wish it would, but it wouldn't. But it won't. But are we going to see Erine with the biography or a book in the future?
God, do you know what, Trevor? If people were interested, I would certainly put pen to paper if there was a demand for that. And it maybe would be something a wee bit different, because there's a lot of the guys doing that, and it's fascinating, all their stories. But my sort of backstory would be, I am a 5 foot nothing female from Northern Ireland. Nobody thought I could make it, and then all of a sudden I find myself having done a full 24-year service, and then which then led to the TV show, and then meeting all these wonderful people. And that's behind the camera, in front of the camera. That's the celebrities. That's everybody involved.
Yeah.
And then it leads you on to meet other people. And that it's always like life's like a little stepping stone, isn't it? Mm-hmm.
Well, exactly. And you have got a good circle around you that can lift you up now. And
For sure.
And it's and I've learned the hard way. It's impossible to achieve anything unless you let people in your circle to help you, and you help each other. Well, you've got a good team around you. I would say that there is a high possibility, if not there is an extreme high possibility, of people want to know what drives you, what keeps you forward, how come you're always determined to achieve, and you've got to where you are. I think that there's been no other biographies by females that have been part of that show or part of that elite clientele. So it would be a one-off.
Well, I think it's just sort of, I'm very driven. Like I want to, and I think to start off with, Trevor, rightly or wrongly, I wanted to prove myself.
Yeah.
you know, inside, I wanted to be better. I wanted to make my family proud. I wanted to see what I could achieve. And then everything just leads to the next job, to the next role, the next promotion, the next posting.
Yeah.
So it's just about being driven. And, you know, you want to leave your footprint in this life.
Yeah.
I want to leave a footprint. You know, I want to help people, whatever way that is. And, you know, I think anybody that serves in the military, we have that desire to help people, to try and, you know, save lives, to protect our country. So I just wanted to have something that I could be very proud of, that I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
You know, we all make
Well,
mistakes.
you should be. You should be. It's brilliant. I love it. I love seeing you succeed and go forward. If you've got friends and you don't like seeing them succeed, then you shouldn't have friends. I mean, you need
They're
to
not
let
friends.
people. But I love it. So, what's next for you? What's your goals this year? Because don't tell me you don't have any goals, because we all set goals that we want to achieve by the end of the year. What's yours?
Well, funny you should say that. On one of the shows, there was a lovely girl called Claire Eves, and her and I have become good friends. So she was on the civilian SAS Who Dares Wins. I think it was about season 7. And I remember sitting watching her thinking, I'm really impressed with you. You're my cup of tea. You know, she had such drive, so strong, you know, had a hard life, but really a great example of how anybody, if you put your mind to it, you can rise up from the ashes. And so I got in touch with her. We became friends. And she now does, apart from having her own business, doing personal training, which, you know, she's amazing at, she has Women Warriors. So I've now became quite involved in the Women Warriors, and that is the goal this year, is to keep doing Women Warriors, and then she's looking to maybe go corporate. So I would love to start doing some corporate stuff. What that means, how I do it, I don't know, but that's one goal. And then the second goal is to keep, you know, in with Women Warriors and meeting all these amazing ladies. So the next one is the 13th that I'll be doing, is the 13th of April.
Okay.
So, yeah. So she's on my Instagram, but if anybody wants, you know, any information about it, they can just, you know, drop me a wee line, and I'll certainly give you all the details.
I've been watching your Instagram, and I follow Women Warriors. I think it's a fantastic concept.
Yeah.
It looks grueling though. I mean, all those women go there, and it's not for the faint-hearted. It's people go there with like, oh, we'll see what it's like, and it's basically strong women making other women stronger, and I like that concept. It's quite good. I think she does a great job, actually.
Yeah, she is so good at putting people at their ease. So, you know, that's what, you know, she says, you turn up with strangers and you leave as friends. And that genuinely happened in front of my eyes. Everybody turned up a wee bit nervous. You know, they're taking themselves out of their comfort zone. But the time the day had finished, it was hugs, kisses, exchanging numbers, keeping in touch. And I really bought into it. And I thought, yeah, I really want to be a part of this, because I hate bitchy women. I think, you know, we all need to be there to support each other. And if you don't like the person, just dress away. You know, don't start slagging them off. I'm not into anything like that. But every woman that turned up for that Women Warriors, they were there for the right reasons. And it was so refreshing. So I actually can't wait for April. I'm buzzing about it.
I love what you said there. I have the same attitude where, and everyone in the chat knows this, whenever someone says something and you don't like it, you don't need to get involved. I've never used those words before, but I just dress away. But what I do is I just shut the door and move on. I've got a question for you. Come in. From Judy Faulkner, who says, what does Erine think about those that are now celebrities like Ant Middleton, who I personally have seen his show? So what do you think about people that sort of go into the show and then go on to be celebrities? I don't know why that question came up, but
no. Hello, Judy. I'm really pleased for them, because they're obviously helping people in some way. People must need something from that individual. So like of Ant Middleton, like he's doing so well. Yes, he's made mistakes. The guy's only human. We all make mistakes. He is sinless, cast the first stone. But just to generalize, if, you know, a fellow soldier then can go on and inspire, as a lot of the guys are doing on the show, I think that's a great thing, and it's all positive. I don't think there's anybody so far that's done the show that has said anything negative. I think in general everybody is trying to give back. I know Rudy, Foxy, Billy, they're all trying to give back. Dilksy has done so many charity runs. I think he ran 100 miles. His feet were bleeding. When I was texting me, his toenails had come off, and he was so relaxed about it. I nearly crashed the car. So the guys to answer your question, everybody I think wants to give back, and it's a platform for good, I think.
Yep, Mughal just asked. Mughal, I spoke to Erine about it not that long ago about books. If there's a demand for it and people want Erine to write a book, then in the future there's a possibility. But thanks for your question. She hasn't written one yet. No. So you've got Women Warriors. You've got a TV show. You've got things going on in your life. Is there anything that I mentioned about you've got your dog? Is your dog still on your knee?
No, he's in the living room now because there's somebody outside, so he's guarding the house as we speak. Yes.
You do a lot of things about animals as well. Is that one of your passions? Is it?
It really is, Trevor. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's probably not for everybody, but I do the same way sometimes when you're in the military and you're in the right place at the right time and that you've achieved something. I have this burning in my heart to help animals. And it's very hard to describe, but since being on Instagram, you see so much cruelty, be it in the farming industry over here, and around the world, how little animals are treated in the home. So I really now, my next sort of long-term goal would be to do something with the dog meat trade. There's a guy on Instagram that I'm quite friendly with. You'll see him on my Instagram. His name's John, and he does dog meat survivors. He's an American chap, really lovely guy. But he goes out to various locations and then rescues these wee dogs who are going to be eaten. Who live in terrible conditions. So that's not judging, because I know, like in certain countries, that is, dogs are food for people. I understand that. But there's got to be a better way. So before I die, I would like to do something like that, to go out and really you get stuck in with rescuing animals. Yeah.
Wow.
Why that's going to happen, I don't know.
Well, awareness is one of the big things, isn't it? I mean, an awareness campaign, getting involved with somebody. I always find that when I'm asked to do something, I would normally reach out to a celebrity and see if they're interested, and then try and get them on board, and then use that as a stepping stone, like to sort of try and achieve things. But animals is a big thing. I mean,
yeah. I mean, a dog is a man's best friend. When you look on some of those Instagram posts that the Americans put out, and these dogs are parachuting out of planes, and then when they land, they're military dogs, they're police dogs, rescue humans from the water.
Yeah.
So let's try and help these wee animals, I think.
I know. Yeah. So what's next anyway? Before we let you have the rest of your day for yourself, what's next? What can we see next coming from Erine?
Well, I mean, I might write a book now, because everybody can see all the wee comments there. People actually seem to be interested. So
Well, yeah.
I'm gonna have to get on the phone to somebody and say, "Can you help me write a book?" So yeah, do you know what? I might maybe think about that, writing a book. Preparing for the next show. So the next show filming will be sort of May, June time.
Okay.
Don't know a location, and even if I did, I couldn't say.
I was going to ask you.
Well, but I'm really looking forward to that, because I'll get to see the guys again. Like, bottom line, we all get together, and that's the crew as well, the DS. We all get together, and it's just making good memories. Making bonds with people, and of course then there'll be more celebrities, so who knows who that will be. So I'm just really looking forward to this year, and then spending time with family. Like, me, Trevor, I'm a Northern Irish girl. Family is everything. My cousin is sat beside me right now, and I know as soon as I come off here, she's going to give me a big hug. I just know it. So family, and prepping for the show. Yeah,
Well, brilliant. Well, listen, I'm not. I'm going to let you go and have some time with your family there. Thanks for coming on. I do appreciate it. It's been wonderful. Would love to see a book from you in the near future, or should I say, not the near future, keep things on, but a book down the line would be great. You've got enough people in your circle that have written books that could give you advice and steer you, and so that I don't think that would be an issue. Yeah, I'm already in my head designing the front cover for your book.
Trevor, I'm going to ring you in 5 minutes.
Well, listen, have a wonderful day. Spend time with your loved ones, and thank you. And thanks everyone that come on.
Yes.
I'll let you go. Take care, Erine. Okay.
See you later, guys.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
1 minute. There we go. Well, everyone, there we go. That was Erine on. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. That was wonderful. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Thanks for the moderators for all the hard work in there. Thanks for the questions. And I'll leave you to get on with the rest of your day. Take care, people. And I'm glad you tuned in. Remember, if you are on Amazon and you have read these books, leave a review and take care. Bye-bye.